Global is one of the most effective ones that we know, focusing on water, health, education, energy, livelihood, and sustainability. I am very happy that Wheels Global has opened a chapter in India. We are already working with them in some of the initiatives jointly, but most important is our key event, our flagship event, which is PanIIT World of Technology Summit, or Pivot Summit as we call it, being held in Mumbai. There we have Wheels as our partner, as we have PARPI and as we have IIT for IIT and others. This is an attempt on our part to provide a holistic picture of all the alumni activities that are going on, right? And I'm very happy that Wheels is stepping up its activities in India. With that, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce Sujata Roy, who is currently the president of Wheels Global Foundation in India, as well as chairperson of the Wheels Global Foundation, Eastern India. And a graduate of IIT Kharagpur, she served as the Chief Operating Officer of the National Digital Library of India, which is a flagship project of IIT Kharagpur, sponsored by the Ministry of Education, Government of India over the last 8 years, and is an independent director on the board of Public Limited Organization. She received her MSc in Physics from IIT Kharagpur in 1975. So Sujata Devi, welcome, over to you.
Sujata,
you like to unmute yourself.
Yeah. Thank you, Debashish, for the introduction. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I feel privileged to be here today and talking to some of the alumni of our all the IITs. On this, I would first like to congratulate the South chapter for having taken the initiative of hosting today's event. We had been thinking for quite some time about holding such quarterly meetings to update our alumni on the activities of Wheels. Finally, the South chapter took the leap and initiated this. Thank you for leading the way. Talking about chapters, the basic idea behind creating the chapters was to help the individual groups to lead their own initiatives based on local needs and capabilities, and then manage them locally. With that, we now have the 4 chapters in India, North, South, East, and West, along with the chapters in the US, Europe, and Australia. And I feel this is working very well under the leadership of each of the chapter leaders. I'm not going to talk about all the initiatives of India, as I'm sure Ratan will be touching upon them. Also, we will have our next speaker, Yadav, updating us on the South initiatives. Let me just give you a fair glimpse of what's happening in the Eastern Front. We have started on several projects, big and small, that will impact the lives of the underprivileged in the region. Out of them, 2 primary beneficiaries are Ektara and Micro. While with Micro, we are working on women's menstrual hygiene and provided 5 sanitary napkin dispensers for them. With Ektara, our span of influence is much wider. Here we run the Train the Trainer courses for teachers, for them to take it down to the student community, as well as we run workshops for the students on advanced courses like robotics, space science, etc., with the ultimate aim of creating spoken tutorial suites on them. We can then take these courses to a much wider audience with much less effort and time with our spoken tutorials that is very owned by IIT Bombay. These are just 2 small examples. There are many others that I am not going to talk about. Let me now hand over to our next speaker, Yadav Murthy Sankaran, who is going to enrich us on the activities of South. To introduce Yadav, he has over 43 years of experience in sales, marketing, and business development arena, and established a successful track record in a highly competitive, fast-paced, and challenging environment. He is the co-chair of the South chapter at Wheels Global Foundation. He worked across the geographies of the Indian subcontinent, the Middle East, Europe, Americas, and Southeast Asia. Yadav worked in industries spanning automotive, auto component, chemical, commodity, and service industries. He completed his BE from Madras University and got an MBA in Industrial Management from IIT Madras. So over to Yadav. Please welcome to the session.
Good morning. Good morning, all. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm actually on holiday in the US, but very close to Ratan and his heart. So I'm probably, I don't know if I'm right in saying I'm the wisest man in the group because I'm a 74 pass out. So probably the oldest. I still see some more gray hair, but I'm not so sure. Having said that, it gives me immense pleasure to host this event along with Mukund. I'm also a key partner of the SIAG, and I offer a connect between IIT Madras Alumni Association, of which also I'm the vice president. My connect is basically between SIAG and WHEELS, and also importantly between IIT Ma and Rotary, and SIAG and Rotary, because what we consider Rotary as the brawn, with about 8,000 members in Chennai alone, and IIT the brain to provide the inputs to many of our projects. We're in all the areas which Wheels is engaged in, but I'll take time only to focus on two initiatives. One initiative, actually, if you may call it, I'm a last minute inclusion. Ideally, this should have been presented by Ramnath ji, who is the father of this project. Ramnath is somewhere in the audience. I can see him. And this was his baby. It's a collaboration with the Pichandikulam forest, which is based out of Auroville in Pondicherry, in the beyond south of Chennai. And the objective here is to educate children in primary and middle schools, basically in two areas. One is primary schools in gardening and the various aspects of gardening in terms of animals, flora, fauna, etc. And as far as the other schools are concerned, it's on the ecosystem, the biodiversity, how to educate children on the importance of nature and how we can contribute to nature and how nature will in turn give back to us. So we targeted about 10 schools in and around Chennai where this project took off. And we're almost close to the completion of the project as far as the Eco School project is concerned. Going forward, the objective is to establish a blue-green forest, which will serve as a base for further education and graduation in the arena. So this is broadly the Pichandikulam forest. I won't go into much detail because there's a lot we have done on children education, especially at the middle school level, which cover mapping of the area, watersheds, waste management, gardening, a whole lot of stuff. Very, very elevating and successful project. And the second project is a very recently inaugurated project along with Wheels. I would call that a collaboration with Tata's. See, Tata has a company called Tata Edge, which provides a different type of education. They call it interactive education. You see, all this basically is a platform to teach children between the 9th and 12th grades through an interactive medium, through digital, visual, rather than just classroom. What it does is helps the teachers explain things better to students, and for the children to also grasp the fundamentals through the visual medium. It's a very, very cost-effective collaboration. All you need is a system which costs about ₹1,00,000 because it's a high-end system to take the Tata Edge, which provides the content, which is another 25,000. So I would say roughly it's about ₹1,30,000 per school, covering 3 classes. And this content is updated every year. This program runs for 3 years. And the best part is the syllabus can be tweaked to meet any syllabus. It could be CBSE, ICSE, state board, whatever, depending on what the school wants. So in Chennai, I have pioneered a project with about 100 Rotary clubs, 100 schools, meaning 100 schools. So my objective is to work with Wheels and scale this to as many schools as possible. Ramnaji has a couple of schools, and essentially this is Rotary did it in the city. I would like to focus it in the rural area. And our first effort, which was inaugurated on the 1st of July, was at a village called Pandeshwaram, which has a very erudite panchayat president. So she helped us and we launched this and classes have begun. So it's very quantitative. The efficiency of the program can be easily gauged by evaluating the students on a regular basis. So, and the second thing is it's a highly scalable project. And going forward, I hope to work with Ratan and ensure that we at least do, to start with in this year, at least 25 schools. So I also have the support of IIT Madras. I'll be failing in my duty because I also happen to be the vice president of the IIT Alumni Center, which is a PanIIT center. And I'm connected with what they would call as a startup incubator called Pravartak, which is into 2 areas. One is starting rural interaction centers. Basically, what they do is they conduct post-school classes between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. And the content is communicated through all that the school gets is 2 smart TVs, a router, a modem, and the content is communicated through, they have a local coordinator to gather the children. And this is another program which we plan to launch this year. Any questions, I'll be glad to answer at the end of the session. That's it from my end. And I hand it over to Ratan, who will take us forward.
Thank you, Yadav. I really appreciate both SIAG as well as IIT Madras Alumni Association and Wheels Global South Chapter Leadership Team to host the update today. And as we announced in the beginning, this is going to be our sequence of quarterly updates. So you can all hear about how our collective alumni community and social impact innovators are making a huge difference. So today I want to recognize many of the Wheels leaders who have joined me in this update. We have Dr. Rasha heading our Health Council. We have Ambassador Pradeep Kapoor, who heads our Livelihood Council. And we have Ramnath Mani, who is co-chair of our Wheels India South chapter, as well as our PanIIT India leader, Sunil Khanna. So we have plenty of very senior leaders to answer questions. We expect this to be a bi-directional session. So after I cover for about 20 minutes some of the key updates from the Wheel side, we would like to open and hear from many of the attendees about social impact initiatives they are leading. As you will learn today, Wheels model is inclusive. We are looking to identify solutions by our ecosystem of alumni, our NGO partners, and help them scale using Wheels' unique resources. So we would like to hear that today. Also, please do share your questions throughout. So we will be taking on those questions too. If we see lots of questions, we'll be glad to extend the session beyond the allocated time of 60 minutes. So let me take a few minutes to give a quick update on quick recap on Wheels model. I think many of you have attended some of these updates in the past, so you're familiar, but I think we may have some of the newer members attending the session today. So I'll take a couple of minutes to share what Wheels is about. Many of you attend our PanIIT global events like what Debashish mentioned, the upcoming pivot event in January 2025. Like that, we have had these events at a regular frequency in both USA as well as in India. So back in 2006, at the gathering of about 2,500 our alumni community and leaders in Washington, D.C., our ex-president Abdul Kalam, in his inimitable ways, really asked the fundamental question. We all have been very successful professionally as well as financially. We have done well for ourselves. But the fundamental bigger question is, what have we done for the society and the country? Even the animals do well for themselves. They take care of their progeny. But the bigger question is that enough? And that really that was the inspiration leading to creation of Wheels Global Foundation as a social impact platform, as a means to channelize resources of our collective 500,000 community. Collectively, this community is the strongest alumni community in the world. So there is no reason for us to be able to take all that collective power and make a difference and make it count in terms of IIT brand value people expect. So that 2006 creation has led for Wheels to make it a big journey. And you will see today, Wheels is really stepping up to deliver on those expectations. The 6 areas of Wheels focus on the 6 areas society needs. Each letter stands for one area. So W for water, and similarly health, education, livelihood, energy, and sustainability. The vision is very simple. We want to impact at least 20% of India's rural and underserved population by 2030. We have ample resources to far exceed that, and you will see many examples today. Our execution model is very simple. Given that we are a very unique organization, most of the alumni are in the day job. So the right model for us is to select promising initiatives on the ground and scale them up to our 2 value adds. If you think about the 2 main things we bring to the table are our technology, DNA, coming from all the technology backgrounds, the breadth and the depth of the technology we have access to. And second is the tough business problems we have solved in our 20, 30, 35 years of corporate life, day in and day out. We have dealt with those problems. And those are the things which many of our social impact partners, NGOs need. They can find wonderful innovations, solutions. They can take it to 10,000, 20,000 beneficiaries. But to go from the 20,000 to 5 million, 10 million, you need to solve the scaling challenge. And those are the things which we can help, we can provide. So that is our value add. That is what we are using in the process to make sure that 500,000 alumni community finds it easy to be engaged. We have done a lot of work in building a diversified portfolio. Today, you will see that list, more than 30 initiatives cutting across those 6 domains, which will make it possible for every alumni to find something which will relate to their competency and their capacity and their desire to leave legacy in their hometown. Number 2, many of our alumni, they have the intent to serve back, but the effort to discover, to research, to find the right solution, and then ensure your support is being utilized correctly, that takes a lot of time. We have taken that off the table for you. We are presenting you completely curated solutions, so that way you don't have to spend time in that and you can convert your intent into action. And by working with your fellow peers and also working with IIT system, this is a great way to network with purpose. So with that, let me briefly give you the organizational view. We have come a long way to now formally have a proper organization which will sustain wheels for many years in the future. We are blessed with a very, very strong supporting cheerleaders group, what we call trustees, who make financial commitments as well as open the doors for us, some of the most senior leaders. Then we have the board of leaders, nearly 15 leaders in US and another 6 board members in India, who again make financial contributions, but they also step up to take leadership role in leading a chapter or council or an initiative. And then we have our chapter teams, as you heard from many of the chapter leaders today, to get us close to the alumni communities in different parts of the India as well as US. So we have 4 chapters in India. We have nearly 6 chapters in US and continue to grow across Europe also and in Australia. So we see tremendous participation from hundreds of alumni who wants to be part of the giving back journey. And then we have 6 councils who represents our thought leadership and have assembled world-class leaders providing amazing expertise as well as access. As an example, in the Health Council, Dr. Rasha is leading with nearly 80 doctors who come across multiple specialties, different backgrounds, and have created a very vibrant health portfolio. And you will see many of those updates today. Similarly in the water, similarly in education, energy, livelihood, and sustainability. All that work, again, as I said, Wheels model is indirect model. And because of that choice, we have built bridges now with nearly 100 partners, which allows us to have field capacity to execute, to take our innovations, to multiply, to scale them across all corners of India. And that is a very powerful asset we have. And again, I would say number one reason we are able to build that very quickly is because of our number one asset, which is a brand. The brand provides tremendous access. It opens the door. And that also is giving us a unique opportunity to step up at a country level. So we have launched an initiative called Impact Collaboration Platform, which I will share more details a little bit later. You will see that platform is leveraging our most unique position in the society and at the same time add value to the country and to the IIT system. So with that, let me share with you updates on few of our initiatives. I'm going to focus on probably 4 or 5 in the interest of time to give you a glimpse of some of the unique attributes of how we are adding value and how we have a unique opportunity as an IIT alumni as well as our mission-aligned professionals. So this is a short list of about 20 initiatives you will see on the slide. You will see across each of the domain, we have gone about now build a diversified portfolio of initiatives. And it is very intentional for 2 reasons. Number one, when you look at any of these domains, whether water or health or education, there are myriad problems. You take the water, you can come up with a list of 30 problems, whether toxicity in the drinking water, whether lack of agricultural water because the water table going down, whether the problem faced by rural farmers, or whether the problem faced because the lakes are drying up or the river, the water level running low. So there are 30, 40 problems. You cannot move the needle by just 1 or 2 initiatives. And hence, we have taken the explicit approach of diversified portfolio of initiatives which can provide solutions to the diverse problems we face. Secondly, the diversity also makes it easy for us to take these solutions to any NGO partner to find something they can scale, and they can be part of the multiplier journey. Similarly, it makes it easy for our alumni community to find something which will relate directly to their interest, whether geographical interest, whether functional interest, whether according to their particular capacity and competency. So let me share the, details about some of the initiatives. In health, one of our solution which is really scaling up at the country level is addressing a problem which is so pervasive in India. I was shocked. One of our health council member, Dr. Rupal Dalal, who after 15 years of pediatric practice in Chicago, went back to Mumbai and working in the Mumbai slums, discovered that the babies she was dealing with again and again, severely underweight, they were they were underweight not because the mothers were in poor health, but because only 28% of the available supply was getting to the babies. That was a massive discovery, but at the same time, a massive opportunity, because that now is a knowledge transfer issue. That is a training issue. So we are taking now IIT Bombay's platform innovation called Spoken Tutorials, and which was developed for IT. We have now taken the same platform technology to health domain and have created these 90+ health spoken tutorials to make it easy to train mothers. But before we can get to mothers, we need to work with the health infrastructure consisting of Anganwadi workers, ASHA workers, ANMs, CMHOs, pediatricians, district collectors, all the way. And that is what we are doing in the MP, launching this solution after our success in 5 districts, Nandurbar in Maharashtra, where we were able to improve the weight gain of the newborn baby in first 6 months 5 times. 5 times weight gain. And that is how we saw the success in one district and then expanded to Nasik, then to Thane, and then Banaskantha in Gujarat, and then Jaspur in Chhattisgarh. And then we realized that the district level approach, while it is successful, it will take multiple decades. We don't have that much time. So we are scaling that now to work at the state level. So in MP, we have built a great partnership with the entire state infrastructure, directly working with the additional chief secretary. We launched the program in November. In MP alone, this program will be impacting 10 million mothers and babies. We have in India, the latest survey by NFHS shows 36% children stunted, 32% underweight, and 21% wasted. You do the math and you see the problem magnitude we are facing in the country. We cannot let that continue. So this solution is directly tackling that problem. In MP, now we are in the 6 months in the journey. Quickly, I'll take you through the other tutorials. They not only cover how the mother properly breastfeed the baby, but they cover entire end-to-end spectrum of nutrition. We know how rapidly the diabetes is spreading in the teens, in 20s, and in 30s. That end-to-end nutritional management is so key. So this solution addresses that end-to-end nutritional management along with the breastfeeding technique for the mother and the newborn, covering the 1,000 critical days of the baby. We all know if the baby does not receive the nutrition in the first 6 months, then for the next 50, 60, 70 years of his life, he is severely disadvantaged. Lack of mental development, poor health, creating cost for the family, for the society, for the government. This program is a very rigorous multi-step process. It goes in a very step-by-step, 5-step methodology, because it is not about just creating these tutorials and leaving with the mother. That will do nothing. This program it ensures that the skills will be absorbed. The ANMs, ASHA, and Anganwadi workers are taken through the content in a very rigorous step-by-step fashion, so they absorb the material. They are tested, they are reinforced, and then finally they are given 10 pairs of mothers and babies to apply. So that way we have the proof of their knowledge absorption and application. So that way we will see the results. It is not just about releasing the content and the solution. It is about verifying the impact and results on the society. That is what this program does. So we are now well into the first phase of journey in MP. From the 7 districts, Vidisha, Singrauli, Bhavani, Dindori, Chhatarpur, Ratlam, and Shivpur. 5 of the 7 districts are aspirational districts. We are not tackling in the simple districts. We are taking the most challenging districts in first phase. These districts, the program is amazing to see the participation from the local health infrastructure. They really want to find a solution. So they're working with us. You can see in these pictures, these ASHA and Anganwadi workers and ANMs making time, taking their content, going through the tests, and tremendous media coverage. It's really inspiring. And you can see on this picture on the display, not just the breastfeeding technique, but also going to the end-to-end nutritional management, using the local nutritional resources, fruits, vegetables, etc. From MP, we had now already, while the MP project is in motion in the early phase, that success is now opening the doors to several other states. We have already launched the program in Jharkhand, another state, heavily tribal state with a very acute problem intensity. So we have launched the program in the Khunti district in Jharkhand, again with a very inspiring leader, Forest Service Officer Siddharth Tripathi, running an organization called Swavlamban. Swavlamban is another Wheels partner. While he's doing amazing job in eradicating poverty in the poorest villages in the Khunti district, he is also now taking this solution in his district, and then the Jharkhand Principal Secretary wants to scale it to the entire state. This is a recent example of our bi-monthly leadership with the MP. You can see nearly 25 collectors, IS officers, Jilla Parishad CEOs, additional chief secretary on the bi-monthly review. This is the level of commitment. And guess what? That commitment is there to work with the Wheels, not because of me or any one particular leader, but because of the trust in the IIT brand, what Wheels represent. Similarly, now we are taking that program, as I said, in Jharkhand too, we are taking now to the next state, another tribal state, which has same problem density, Meghalaya. Again, Meghalaya, we have already launched the program. We are in the first phase. And if we take alone just this program alone will allow us to touch 200 million lives in India. So when I mentioned that our mission is to impact 20% lives, guess what? With one program alone, we can impact that many lives. So we have opportunity to make a massive difference far beyond the mission we set out with. Let me shift to another solution in health. Dr. Raj has been passionate about the telehealth technology's power. He created it long before the world knew about telehealth as a term. With his passion, we built this solution. The solution integrates software, smart software to do most of the triage, and then integrates the networked devices for diagnostics data. And that allows saving for the physician's time, more accurate diagnosis, avoidance of the repeat visit, and an average rural resident does not have to travel 20 kilometers to get quality care in timely fashion. Huge power. So after launch in the COVID time to 325 sites in the 6 states, now we are scaling it further, taking it partner-centric approach to leverage, to work with multiple partners. Our 11 sites in 11 districts, 7 districts in Bihar about to go live very shortly, working with a partner called Gram Sansad. You can see some of these locations are very remote, very rural. While the health infrastructure is supposed to be there, the residents do not have access to an MBBS. So this solution is a wonderful way to fill that void. Similarly, we are working with Six Sigma Healthcare to take our solution in high altitude states, and working with Samhita to take our solution to this wonderful channel of CSCs, which was CSCs are supposed to be in every single village in the India. So with that particular channel, we can take it to tens of thousands of locations. And working with Sai Madhusudan, who has set out a vision to take telemedicine to all the 6,000 talukas. So we have amazing partners to increase the penetration and acceleration of this solution. Shifting to education, many of you attended our first webinar we did on the education portfolio about 3 weeks ago. And what was remarkable in that, we showcased only 5 solutions out of our 8 solutions in the current education portfolio. What we saw from our alumni, young dedicated alumni, creating solutions addressing in education, kids who are on the footpath, who will otherwise be begging, to the kids who are in primary and middle school, who are studying in schools which are chronically understaffed. who otherwise have very little chance to provide quality education, to kids who are in the high school who needs exposure to IT skills, to be having fair chances in digital economy, and to the kids who are students who are graduating from premier institutions like IIMs and IITs and want to be better, having a better employability with business skills, with leadership skills. So across this spectrum, we have now innovations. There's no reason we cannot solve education issues across the spectrum. Here is you have on the screen Varun Srivastav, another young IIT Kharagpur alumni who rather pursuing corporate journey, he has built a very scalable solution called Upay, which is able to provide these kids on the footpath, and 14 centers already open. Many of you can take his model to every location in every state. It doesn't take much. From there, let me talk about another education solution which we are supporting, School in a Box. This solution is overcoming one of the most pervasive problems in India. Nearly 70% of our schools have severe understaffing. Forget the physical infrastructure. They may have typically 1 to 8 grades, but only 4 or 5 teachers. My younger brother is an elementary school teacher, and I was talking to him day before yesterday. He said we have 8 grades, but only 3 teachers, and government converted one of the teachers for other duties and has given the room to Anganwadi workers. This is the state of our education infrastructure otherwise. So you need technology to help overcome these challenges. The School in a Box has created a solution which overcomes not only that understaffing issue, but also enable the kids to develop speaking skills. And all their effort has been one-time investment, and now it is a limitless scaling solution. So we are supporting 5 schools with that solution. We have chosen these 5 schools strategically because each deployment opens door for a large network. As an example, we are supporting 2-acre schools. So that way we can have a model which can work in the 92,000 schools acre operates. We are working with EduGirl partner in Jaipur. They operate 13 schools. We are working in Rajgarh in Alwar district of Rajasthan because the local political leader is very, very, very keen. He wants to take it to every learning center. So these are the access we have, which allows us to take a solution and take it to much wider audience. So each of these solutions, I won't go in the detail in the interest of time. You will see a lot of detail on our website, but I can assure you every one of these, you can take it to your town to leave your legacy. Going from there, I talked about the spoken tutorial. It's probably one of the most profound innovations I have seen from the IIT system, particularly for the rural India. It has built a platform which allows every single job market bound youth, whether high school or college, to acquire IT skills at any time, anywhere, at almost zero cost. You cannot find any solution with those characteristics in the world. And guess what? Because of those characteristics, it has already reached 80 lakh learners. And these learners coming from the poorest villages have been able to secure jobs in Amazons and Accentures in Adobes in India. So it works. We have taken now to many other networks. We have taken the program to 10 schools in Ahmedabad suburbs, 3 schools in the Ahmedabad Central, 3 to Shamlaji Community College in Aravali district, Navodaya School Network. We are working with Samita to take it to again the CSE locations. And then further, we are extending the curriculum access to advanced STEM topics, working with a partner called Specific, a very young entity created by IIT Bhubaneswar PhD students, who again, rather than pursuing the lucrative career, have chosen to solve the problems faced by their fellow rural residents, rural schools. And then we are also looking at 2 pilots in USA, one for the homeless community in Phoenix, as well as youth in the housing projects in Seattle, Bellevue area. Coming to the energy side, I think in the past, if you attended some of the sessions, you may have heard about a simple energy solution which we have brought into the portfolio called RooCart. It is amazing innovation by young IIT Bombay graduates who have taken their master's thesis and converted into a cold storage box which does not need any electricity or energy. How wonderful solution, solving the problem of 15 million farmers, environmental friendly, costing very little, and can stop nearly 30% wastage of the fresh fruit and vegetables. That solution now, after developing a couple of models, they have further extended to now bring a residential cold storage box for about 15,000 rupees only. So not only they have solved the problem for the retailer farmer, but also an average rural household who also needs that solution, because in India, yes, we have electric lines, but the power outage makes that electricity available only for a few hours. I was talking to my relative in Alwar district. They're getting power only for 2-3 hours in the peak of the summer. Their milk, their vegetables, their fruits have no chance of surviving without this kind of solution. So wonderful solution, environmental friendly, already making massive impact, and every one of the alumni can take it to their village, their community. There's no part of India this solution cannot be helpful to. So let me shift now to another energy solution which we have, and this is a solution which comes from Sujata's eastern region, working with a partner called Gram Samriddhi Abhiyan, another creation of an IIT Kharagpur alumni. They have created a very simple biogas solution. Again, nothing revolutionary, nothing glamorous about it. But the business in model innovation, which makes this solution break even in less than a year by accessing 50% subsidy from Ministry of Natural and Renewable Energy in India, has brought the cost down to 20,000 rupees. And then further, the byproduct slurry is worth enough money for the farmer to replace the toxic chemical fertilizer and replace them with organic fertilizers. So because of that, in the second year, the farmer is making money actually. So not only do you eliminate LNG, you are able to have organic produce, save money in the beginning second year alone. So completely packaged solution. Again, I don't see why our alumni cannot take it to all corners of India. In livelihood, briefly, we have built a very compelling portfolio of initiatives, which covers many different domains of livelihood. We have had PARFI as one of the Wheels sister entities created by Wheels IIT alumni. In Jharkhand, they have built vocational training schools, which provide tribal girls 1-year rigorous training program for nursing, manufacturing skills, and culinary. And now that PARFI model has been is expanded to MP, and we are taking that to Rajasthan now. Similarly, we have SOBUS, which provides entrepreneurial skills for the rural talent. So they don't have to migrate to cities, and they can convert their brilliant ideas into rural businesses. We have partner Ra Foundation, which is a wonderful 5-week program to provide rural youth critical skills and assured jobs. Ra has opened 14 centers in Maharashtra. We are taking to Rajasthan. Similarly, we are working with other partners like Drishti, Samta, and then Rural Shores and People Shores model. So this is the example of the Ra Foundation model, 5-week, very rigorous program, very scalable. And again, it can be taken to from Maharashtra, their initial success, to other 28 states. So this is where I think I'm going to skip, in the interest of time, our other details. Hopefully you got a good cross-section of our initiatives in health, in education, in livelihood, in energy. In HP, we have previously talked about our wonderful partnership with the Himachal Pradesh government to have a public-private partnership to rejuvenate underground spring water bodies across the state. This will be touching the lives of 6 million people. And now we have taken that model of collaborative governance to Yadav, building the airport infrastructure near Noida in Delhi. So let me bring it now. Finally, I mentioned in the beginning our dual approach to not only drive selective initiatives, we are investing time into this impact collaboration platform as a second strategic pursuit, because we see two problems in the country today. We have 3.3 million NGOs officially. And even if you take 10% of that as functional, you still have very large number of social impact entities. But the challenge is that one NGO's work is not visible to the rest of the country. A Gram Samriddhi Abhiyan doing wonderful work in West Bengal is totally unknown in the Assam or Rajasthan or Kerala or Andhra Pradesh. But their innovation is very compelling. So why it should not be known? Because we don't have any mechanism today. And hence we are building this impact collaboration platform to bring these innovations, curated innovations, expose them in a structured form, and enable other 100, 200, 300 NGOs to replicate. So they don't have to reinvent. They don't have to wait another 6, 7 years to solve them on their own. And we can drive massive multiplier effect. Only we can do it, because to do this, you need an entity which is trusted by all the NGOs. Wheels is in that unique position of trust. Similarly, by doing that, we are solving a second problem in our IIT system, and by extension in the technology institutions. These technology institutions, 3,600 of them under the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan program, are doing a lot of development of solutions. But a majority of them end up as a shelfware, because a day job of the professor or a researcher is not going in the village for 2 years and deploy the solution and figure out the implementation process and details. His day job is research or teaching. And because of that, the solutions mostly remain within the academic four boundaries. So by building this collaboration platform, we are extending the development activity to find seamless pathway in the deployment through our ecosystem of NGO partners. So this is a solution which will have massive implications for the country, because it will solve two major problems, and it will add tremendous value to the IIT brand and system, because we will be able to drive much better ROI from all that innovation happening in our IIT system. And as a proof point, we have now already built direct relationship with the 10 of the IITs. We are doing that for multiple benefits, not only for this initiative, but also to help our PIVOT conference be taken to from the main city to the new IIT campuses. So we are going to be having PIVOT extended to 6 campuses: Bhubaneswar, Hyderabad, Guwahati, Ropar, Tirupati, and Gandhinagar. And at the same time, we will continue to build those relationships to drive this collaboration platform. So with that, let me end up with the answer I get often: how you can engage. You can engage in many ways. You can be engaged with the wheels in taking a leadership role as a trustee or as a director or an advisor. You can give your time to introduce our solutions to your community. You can work with an NGO to help figure out the scaling path for their current model. You can go to the field and get tremendous experience. Your son or your daughters can do the internship. We have several of young alumni kids working with us. You can use your corporate programs in terms of giving and matching. CSR is the biggest funding pool in India. You can leverage your corporation CSR funds to make a difference in our initiatives. So there are dozens of ways, whether you have time for an hour or whether you have capacity to give 40 hours, whether you can give $100 or $10,000. You can all contribute. It doesn't matter what you contribute today. What matters is your mindset, your decision to fulfill your moral and social obligation. And that obligation is natural. We have all benefited from 500,000 worth of education. So hopefully you can all join this journey of Wheels mission. And in fact, by doing that, you are helping yourself, because the best way to be healthy and happy is by giving back and being unselfish. More you change the ratio of selfishness to unselfishness, more you'll be happy. So hopefully you'll join the journey of being happiness. And with that, let me stop here and take some questions. JBG, anybody who has shared, want to share about their impact entities?
Well, if we have a minute or two, I will be very happy to share.
We had questions, Ratanji. We had some questions in Q&A.
Okay, let me see. We have a question from Dr. Vivek. Any specific initiative on agriculture development and increasing farmers' income and making agriculture cool for young rural urban Indians? So, Dr. Vivek, I'll briefly answer, but we would like to hear from you about maybe some of the things you are involved in. So, you heard me talk about actually two different items. Number one, for the farmers, this solution we have, the RUCART, is actually meant to help the farmers who are producing fresh fruit and vegetables increase their daily income, because 30% of their unsold inventory is wasted today. And that solution is supposed to help the farmers avoid that wastage. There are nearly 15 farmers in 9 states in India. Number two, you saw the solution for biogas, which is again meant to help increase the farmer income and avoid dependence on LNG. But we do have farmer-specific solutions. We are working with a partner called GBK, Gramin Vikas Kendra in Telangana. They are taking regenerative farming to the farmers, and they're working with government of Netherlands to bring some of the latest technologies for the regenerative farming to have soil conservation, water conservation, and the market access for the farmers. Also, we are working with a couple of other partners who are working in Maharashtra area from the water angle, and then finally the regeneration of the Sayadri mountains. So there's 6-7 solutions I'll be happy to discuss in detail. Dr. Vivek, would you like to say anything further? JVG, can you unmute Dr. Vivek?
Yeah, one.
Mooks wanted to say something.
Yeah. Can I say something, Dr. Ratan?
Go ahead, please.
Wait for Vivek.
Yes, go
I
ahead.
think Dr. Vivek has a wonderful question. It is a multifaceted question, and it is not a simple way to answer that. Although there are many point solutions, which Ratanji pointed out, right? I think it's a complex question in the sense that why is agriculture not cool anymore, right? It's a multidimensional problem because there is people moving from rural areas away, which is causing a lot of havoc in terms of the agricultural infrastructure that exists. So we've already working on some very, very interesting solutions for a particular village. In fact, it's a municipality in southern India, which will hopefully translate into many, many other municipalities. It's already a part of the aspirational district as per in Niti Aayog. So the problem statement is as follows, right? So you don't have the necessary funding in a municipality to actually do the work that's required to regurgitate agriculture. Let's take the village or the municipality, Rajapalayam, for example. The annual revenue from taxes for that municipality is about 30 to 35 crores per annum, which is nothing for the 1.86 lakhs of people that exist there. And there is a severe water shortage, right? And that leads to several issues, which doesn't make agriculture cool anymore. So we are taking a 3-step approach to it. Phase 1, we are addressing the water problems immediately. We worked closely with IIT Madras Cube, which is the Center for Urbanization, and we created a fairly detailed DPR on how to bring water into the municipality. That work is being funded now, is in the middle of being funded for phase 1, which allows 5 new water sources, which are in the Western Ghats, to be brought in, and a perennial water tank that has already existed from 1940s will be refreshed and renewed to hold about 150 acres of water at 8-meter level continuously. So there is no water shortage, and that water shortage problem is the first neck in the pole, so to speak, to be solved. Once we do that, using technology, we're able to innovate and do floating solar plant, and some ground mount plant, which is about 70 megawatts of power, which is needed to generate green hydrogen. which will be, the entire project will be owned by the municipality. We are in discussions with the Niti Aayog. There's in fact going to be a meeting in the next week or two to take this further from a funding initiative, which will take the municipality that has about 35-40 crores per annum to all the way up to 250 to 300 crores per annum. This will be the annual income for the municipality, which will really give the necessary funding to make agriculture cool again and solve all the 5-6 municipality issues. And I think it's a very complex question, like you said, and many ways to skin the cat. Thank you.
Thank you, Max. That was a really good answer and a great initiative. Before I ask Sunil to speak, Dr. Vivek, anything else you would like to say further?
I have just typed in the chat box that please check globalvikastrust.org. We have planted 5 crore fruit plants in last 5 years. Water table has increased, farmer income has increased. So this concept through PanIIT or this thing can be taken not just in India but worldwide. So, and there are many other point solutions that I personally am a UFI grad, but I work with IIT Powai on number of initiatives. So would love to participate in whichever shape and form that I can be associated with, even though I am not a IITian per se.
No, we actually thank you very much. And your point is very well reflected in the fact that we have on the screen itself, you can see Dr. Raj Shah as a one example of non-IITians having a very major leadership role in Wheels and shaping Wheels and driving Wheels forward. So we would look forward to your participation. In fact, we did meet, I met Mayank Gandhi.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
So I am the only so-called technically qualified guy on the advisory board there from few years. So
I'm looking forward to. We'll definitely follow up with you.
Super.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Sunil, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I wanted to share some my experience or my contribution in this area on agriculture, livelihood, and rural. I mean, 2 cases. One was in Wada district near Thane, in Thane, where way back in 2007, 2008, when we read about some children dying due to malnutrition. So we decided to visit the area, and we were shocked to see the condition there. Though it's in Thane, it rains a lot, but hardly anything grows there, used to grow there. We adopted that village. We started working on various initiatives, starting with water. We got the study done through, CII. CII is the body which has a water institute, and they helped us to carry out a study how the water can be retained there, stored there. We implemented that, created a 10 million capacity water body there. And slowly then we started on agriculture, livelihood. In 2 years, the village started turning green. In 3 years, the entire village was green. And then the 6 other neighboring villages also started adopting that. And we opened a computer training center there with the help from IIT Bombay, who designed the course. And you can see, you can visit this, 5-6 villages and see the prosperity there. Now we are working, when we say we, 2 of us, and all these was not through any agency, contribution from about 7-8 friends who joined hands together to do this. We were shocked to see the condition in Odisha, in a district called Koraput, in tribal area, tribal farmers, where hardly anything grows. The water doesn't retain there. So we again started working there, 2 of us. My other friend is an agriculture scientist. He is a consultant to World Bank, and he couldn't convince World Bank to work in this area. So he contacted me and others that if he can do something to elevate the lives of these farmers. Their annual income was less than 10,000 rupees. And we have taken a task that in 5 years' time, the annual income should go to 40 to 50,000. Started working on it. Started with agroforestry. and then growing millet and other crops. So it's almost now 2.5, 3 years. The initial results are very good. In fact, agroforestry, we started almost 5, 6 years back. And after that, work on millet and other things. The initial results are very good. The farmers, we don't allow farmers to use any chemical and no fertilizer, natural fertilizers. And we got, recently audit done on, carbon audit. And we were surprised, pleasantly surprised to see that the soil condition has improved. The plants that we, are growing over there are absorbing carbon. So probably going forward, it could become a business for us in carbon trading, maybe 5, 6 years down the line. But initially, the farmers are able to grow Nilgiri trees, which is used by paper industry. We have managed to get a contract signed for these farmers with ITC and JK paper, and they are able to sell their produce to these paper industries. Millet, the first crop came in December last year, January this year, and these 10 farmers with whom we are working, they could grow about 10 tons of millet, which they could sell in the market. And so more and more farmers are getting added. We hope to add close to we started with about 10 acres of land with these farmers. 20 acres of land with these farmers. This year, we hope to grow to about 300 acres with other farmers getting involved in this activity. So hopefully, we will start big changes from this year onwards.
No, Sunil, that is wonderful one. Actually, we would love to have a follow-up to go down into some of the details of the business model and replicability of it, because the helping farmers with the rejuvenation of the water table or uplifting the water table to water body conservation and then using these trees to improve the cash income. It is showing tremendous success in many parts. We have a solution on our website called Smart Tree Plantation, which again has partnered with IIT Kharagpur to identify 15 cash crops to help the farmers grow their income from nearly 45,000 rupees to 1.5 lakh rupees. And that initiative, again, we see replicability pretty much every part of the India, combining that with the water conservation. It offers tremendous opportunity and then further market linkages. So we'll follow up to see how your work can be integrated into an overall composite set of solutions. Thank you.
That will be great. If anyone is willing to visit some of these villages, we can organize that and they can talk to farmers. They can see for themselves how things are improving there.
Absolutely. In fact, will JBG make a note? I think some of these areas we want to make a part of our visit when we come for the pivot. So that nothing better than seeing these live. That completely changes your perspective. Thank you, Sunil. Let me request Ambassador Kapoor to provide his comments.
Thank you very much, Ratan. It is such a pleasure to participate in this webinar and to hear all the speakers talk, and the inputs which you have provided to everybody are also very, very useful. So I appreciate that tremendously. Now, we look forward to the others also joining in these selfless efforts to take development to the rural areas, to take empowerment to the rural areas. I would briefly like to share about our experiences in Aravali. In Aravali, we have a Wheels-led initiative which has been going on for a few years now. And it is based on the Smart Village Development Framework. Now, SMART here stands for, S is for basically the strengths of the rural communities and the strengths of the NGOs which are participating. M is for measurements, so that we know where it is moving and what impact it is having. A is for applicability and appropriate technology. R is for replicable, so that we are able to replicate it on a much larger scale. And T is to leverage technology for social impact in a significant way. So that is the difference of smart village compared to smart cities, which we are implementing. That is one Wheels initiative where we have hands on the ground 24/7, And we have a Wheels office in Aravali in Shamlaji College. We have a large number of NGO partners who are working with us, which includes Mission Samriddhi, Magan Sangralaya Samiti, IEEE, which is the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, their integrated smart village part of it, component of it. Then we have the Surgeon Foundation, we have the eHands Foundation. So we have large number of partners on the ground in Aravali, and we are delivering a holistic sort of impact in all the Wheels spokes, so that we are able to take a cluster of villages which is most backward in Gujarat into a phase where they feel empowered, where they have a lot of development. We have been taking large number of IIT students, for example, into Aravali for working in the village as part of the project. So that is twofold. Not only do they impact the village, but the rural life impacts them in the long term also. So we are working on that also. We have some active, very fundamental projects going on in the ground, which Ratan has also mentioned, like spoken tutorial, which is already being taken beyond the students of the schools and colleges to the rural community now. So that we have set it up in the college, Shamlaji College, but the rural community also has access to using the digital learning lab, which we have installed there under Wheels and IEEE collaboration. We are expanding that to a much bigger scale now. Then we also have the eHands kiosks, which we are going to be implementing in the next few days, is going to start rolling out. Then we have the livelihoods program along with Magan Sangralaya Samiti of Varda, which will start rolling out in a significant way all over Aravali in different areas of productions, like the turmeric or the honey or the ginger, organic ginger, etc. So it'll create a lot of livelihoods. So we look forward to welcoming more of you to partner with us, particularly any of you who may have an interest in any of the areas that we are working in, not only in Gujarat, but all over the country. And it gives a lot of satisfaction. Like Ratan said, after you have done so much for yourself, now it's time to do something for the country, the community, the society. So thank you, Ratan. Back to you.
Thank you. I think we probably covered all the questions. Before we conclude with the 3-4 things, call to action.
Sorry, we have Mr. Ram Kumar, his hand raised.
Okay. Yeah, I think Ram, are you able to, can you unmute Ram Kumar? They are
Yes,
doing
so,
wonderful.
Ratan, one second. Before we tell Ram Kumar to come in, I want to invite everybody for the conference. We have mentioned about Pivot Conference in January, but we have a conference with IEEE in Ahmedabad on 7th, 8th, 9th of November, where 9th of November, we will be organizing a visit to Aravali, to our projects in Aravali. So I just want to invite everybody, to all those who are in India particularly, who can make a visit. Please mark your calendars. This is 7th, 8th and 9th of November. 7th and 8th, the meetings are in Ahmedabad. The conference discussions will be in Ahmedabad. And on the 9th, we have the visit to the Aravali, where this Wheels project has been going on for many years now. So it'll be a great pleasure for us to welcome you there. Thank you. Sorry for the interruption, but this is an important point which I thought I should make.
And a lot of details will be available on the Wheels website under the events page for you to see and register. Ram Kumarji, go ahead, please.
Yeah.
You can share with the 2 minutes your initiative, please.
Yeah. Good evening. My video is not on. My audio is on. Correct now?
Yes.
We can hear you, and just introduce yourself briefly in terms of which IIT and which batch.
I'm G. Ramkumar, IIT Madras MTech in 1981. I was with long innings with Indian Oil across the country. Now I'm part of the IIT Madras Alumni Societal Impact Action Group, where Mukund is our leader, And also I am part of the World of Water Forum in spreading the message. On water, the message is very simple. Every city has flooded roads in the rains and thirsty summers. That means nature gives abundant rain. Whatever water problems are there, it is man-made. How to solve it? The soil has got enormous capacity to absorb water. In fact, soil holds about 7 to 8 times of fresh water in the planet of all river basins put together. So in case we are able to do practically rainwater harvesting, which I am practicing for the last 20 years by simple measures. The use of shallow aquifer recharge, very cost effective, very scalable. It can be done even in concrete jungles or even in the rural areas. We have done many exercises with the Indian Oil Corporation, in the community at Kamakodi Nagar. Recently, one of the schools at Kupri in Maharashtra through IIT Inner Wheels. This message I am trying to spread through World of Water Forum, because water need not be imported from anywhere. The city of Delhi did not get water from other places. It has its own water. Every city should have its own water. I think that's all I have to cover.
Now, thank you, Ram Kumarji. And the rainwater harvesting model they have developed has enormous potential for the whole country. So we are looking at actually working with the SIAG team to do a pilot where we can have well-documented information about the impact from very simple intervention, whether in the urban cities, capitals. So very wide application. So look for further update under Ram Kumar's leadership. So with that, I'm going to request 30-second message from Dr. Raj Shah. We talked about so many health initiatives, so we cannot conclude without a brief message from our technologies. Actually, we rather call him technologies as opposed to doctor. So please, Dr. Raj, for what a minute.
Thank you. Well, it's a pleasure and privilege to be part of WILS Global with illustrious and amazing group of people to get the support in healthcare delivery and getting that has been a great joy and a privilege of my my life to this point. I'm always passionate about technology because I believe that solves so many problems, and particularly in healthcare arena. I only say that tremendous support that I have from the group, and also more than 80 people who have joined our health council, who gives us ideas, networking, helps raise fund. It has been amazing. I encourage you to think of healthcare is applicable in everything that we do, and anything that comes along where WILS can be a part of it, please feel free to reach out to us. We will work together and try to make your dream, your mission, your vision realize in the areas that you want to work. And with that, August 3rd, at same time, 10 o'clock Eastern time, which is Saturday, we have a webinar on healthcare where we'll discuss 4 topics in more details. One more will be in mental health, the initiatives that we have undertaken along with the nutrition and televisit, healthcare, etc. And in IIT 2025, I believe Debashish ji, when we have that conference, healthcare technology is going to be one of the major themes where hopefully WILS and Health Council will play a major role. So thank you very much. I wish you will attend the August 3rd webinar. Thank you.
In fact, I think Debashish can confirm we do have health track, and that will be a wonderful opportunity for many of our health leaders to attend, pivot, and contribute. Debashish, go ahead, please.
Please unmute.
Thank you, Ratan, and thank you, Dr. Raj Shah. What I wanted to say is that it is our attempt to try and make sure that pivot is as all-encompassing as possible. So we have identified certain areas that we will cover in the summit, right? Healthcare definitely is one. In fact, what we have identified is a social media track. Now, how that social media track will develop is something that Ratan...
Social impact, you mean?
Social impact. So Ratan, then Kalyan and others will basically work at it and develop it together with us. But broadly, if I know there is a track on healthcare, there is a track on water, there are 2 more tracks. There are about 4 tracks which are there in this social media broad topic.
Sure.
So I think we will be able to, again, I mean, we wish we could do more, but we have 2 days. We have to ensure that the audience remains focused and they are able to attend all of it, which they can. So too many parallel sessions is something that we are trying to avoid. So at the most, we will possibly have about 2, maybe in certain cases, 3 sessions. But we will try and cover all these important things. Also, we have consciously taken one decision, which is that every event that we do has to have a continuity to the past one and creates a path for the new one. So going from 2001, where we explored the transformative power of technology, to 2023, where we looked at the innovation in a world driven by technology, to 2025, where we are going to explore the social impact of technology. Right. So we are basically working at this so that for us also it gives a context and a direction for our future activities and actions. Right. So I do hope each one of us will join. We will get our friends, philosophers, guides, colleagues, whoever, and everybody will come and have 2 days of intense conversations, as well as the fun part of the event that we are also going to organize.
I have already booked my ticket.
And I think, I mean, that is a apt description of the importance of this partnership between Wheels as the impact platform and our PanIIT organization, because it allows us to make sure what we discuss during the networking 3 days, we have ability to convert those into actions. And that is where Wheels is stepping up. In fact, our conversation with Government of Maharashtra Chief Secretary immediately verified in terms of people's expectations from the PanIIT and the conference in terms of what can the PanIIT do for Maharashtra in health and rural development. So it gives us a great platform to drive that impact, as Debashish said. So before I conclude, I think 3-4 things to call out. Number one, we will be continuing this dialogue on a quarterly basis. So expect our next chapter update for our alumni community in October. The date will be announced very soon. I think JVG, you may have the date for me to convey. Then you heard
19th, Ratanji.
19th October will be the next one. Then we have our in the series of vertical council and domain-based panel discussions to bring combination of innovations. We did the education one last month. And then as Dr. Raj announced, 3rd of August, we will bring health innovations to hear from the change makers, the thought leaders. And then we have in Watershed, we have one of the amazing thought leadership piece, a book published by 95-year-old ex-chief engineer of Bhattacharya Dam, who has done phenomenal work. And we are glad to bring his thought leadership in a book, which is really meant for every social impact entity playing in the water domain to find a treatise of information. And this is a contribution by Mr. Rajkumar Malhotra for really the humanity, not just India. The way it goes into the detail, step-by-step formulas, calculations for every type of water problem. So come and see that on the Wheels website. And then lastly, we will be, our newsletter will be coming out very soon in a couple of weeks. And you will please sign up for the newsletter on our website. When you go to the website, our contact page or our events page, you will be able to see a simple way to sign up for the newsletter. So you will be able to get the updates regularly. And we also have a platform called SIAG, which we are partnering with, which is again another IIT alumni creation to drive easy engagement for variety of initiatives together. So we have lots of different ways for all of you to be engaged. And again, I really appreciate today support from our Wheels India South leaders, Yadav, Ramnathji, and Mukund, to host us today and give us a chance to take our updates to all the alumni. And we look forward to participation from all of you. And thank you again for making time.
Thank you.